And we are back once again only on it is Last Call. Last Call with the alcohol only on the Last Call YouTube channel. Joining me here on location, this lady here she's back, she's healthy, she's got a movie coming out, which they've now said is going to be in the late 2022. And well, she's a big fight coming up. We're excited to talk about that and a whole lot more. I give you once again, all the way from Jackson MMA, I give you the Karate Hottie herself. I give you Michelle Waterson. It's Michelle. It's once again you, Amanda Lemos. Is going to be all the way in Long Island, New York, UFC Fight Night, July 16th. How excited are you just to be back in fighting after everything you've been through? After a little bit of a layoff, how excited are you to get back in the cage and do what you love to do?
Oh, it really is exciting. This roller coaster of a ride that we call fighting. You have so many ups and downs. I've been away for so long, and even the fights that I did have within the UFC these last couple of years. Can you believe it's been 4 fights since I've fought without a crowd? So I'm stoked to get out there and be energized by the crowd out there in New York.
Amanda Lemos, she's 11-2-1. She's kind of your size, which most times you've been fighting some of these ladies and they're much taller or they're a bit physically bigger. She's the same size as you. I mean, how nice is that fighting somebody not going, oh crap, they got like 4 inches on me, 3 inch reach.
It's funny, it's just kind of the cards that I was dealt, and it's just you just got to roll with the punches. I'm excited to fight her. She's a heavy hitter. Amanda actually trained out at Jackson's here for a little bit when she was still a 25er, so I know her a little bit. I think it'll be a really exciting fight. So I'm looking forward to it.
Does that help having somebody who has trained out there? So you get an idea firsthand of like, okay, this is what they do. This is what they kind of like, throw. This is what they like throwing. This is maybe a tell they have. Is it just like, all right, well, we're back to square one. We're gonna watch some tape and I'm gonna get the coaches figure out how to beat her.
Yeah, it was kind of a lifetime ago when she was down here, and she's progressed since then, and so have I. So I'm not banking on the fact that she's down here to know anything really. I think that she's gotten a lot better since she's been down here, a lot more dedicated to her craft. And so, I expect her to come out. Obviously there are things that we all carry through our career, but with that being said, she's felt me before as well. So I think sometimes it's nice to be able to get that out of the way, because now there is no what ifs and curiosities, and we can just go in there and throw down.
So take us to, you say that you've improved since she last sparred. So like looking back, let's say the last 2 or 3 years, like what are some of the things you feel you've improved on? Like what do you feel like you've gotten better at?
I mean, well, just caliber of people that I fought. I fought almost all the champions outside of Wade Lee and Andrade. So I know what it is to be inside the cage with somebody for 25 minutes. I fought bigger girls. I fought taller girls. My wrestling's gotten better. My strength and conditioning has gotten better. My power has gotten better. Just all around. Even my confidence as a professional fighter. I've been in there with the best of the best, and I know that this is where I belong. So that's what I get to walk inside the octagon with.
All this is going on, as you mentioned before, you're for this fight, and how tough is it staying healthy nowadays when you're up there in age? I mean, you're no longer this 20-something-year-old young lady. You don't look, you don't look your age, but you're still somebody who you've been through the battles, you've been through the wars, and we know that the older you get, the more it's like, okay, recovery is a bit of a pain in the ass. So for you, how much do you like change your training so that you're not getting beat up and bruised, and all of a sudden it's like, yeah, this training camp's not going well. I'm dinged up. I'm a little bit hurt. Yeah, I can't move my back this way or my neck this way. Oh crap, he's locking up on me.
Right. Recovery is key. It really is. I think you have to give yourself the grace to recover. I think a lot of fighters come into the sport and we're really tough at first. We don't warm up. We just jump right into sparring and we go. And I think the older you get, the more wise you become because you start pulling things here and there, and that's so fun. So really just implementing a lot of recovery. Because MMA is such an intricate sport and there's so many things that you have to train. It's hard to take things. You can't take things away in training, but you can add recovery tools, taking CBD, making sure that, here at our house, we have a sauna, we have a clear light sauna, we have a cold plunge. I have a hyperbaric chamber here at my house. So all these things that we do in order to be able to hit the ground running hard when we get into training. That's it.
How tough is it, keeping up with all this here? Because you mentioned like hyperbolic chamber, you're mentioning, like training at home, you're spending money, you have a nutritionist, you have all this. This costs money. So how tough is it, just trying to make a profit just literally while you're, spending for all this and that and this piece of equipment and that piece of coaching when fighting still doesn't pay the bills. It's not like, you're making Serena Williams money or, Charlotte Flair money, which is about 2.5 million. It's not that. So how do you find ways to, make money and yet at the same time spend money so that you can become a top fighter?
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of the sticky situation that all of us are in, right? But you got to deal with the cards that you're dealt. I think that social media has a huge role in that, being that our sponsorships inside the octagon are kind of taken away from us, not having the ability to display our sponsors on our attire. We have to take advantage of our social media platforms, grow our brand outside of that, and trust that we have sponsors that believe in our journey. And thankfully, I have some amazing sponsors that stuck with me for a really long time with Body Armor and On It. Those two have been sponsors of mine and have been, have had my back for quite some time now, and I'm grateful in the times when I'm not able to fight because of injury and this and that, because it allows me to sustain my training.
I'm glad you brought that up because I'm guessing there are things that you don't do for to make money. And part of it is the rise of certain things like OnlyFans now. It seems everybody's getting involved in that. Whether it's now people like Michelle Phelps, whether it's people such as even Beck Rawlings, adult performers, swimsuit models. I mean, that's the big thing here. I know
Right.
from what I know, you don't have it. How much of that is because you have because of the image, because of your daughter, because you're looking going, ooh, yeah, OnlyFans. No, that doesn't sound good here. It might make money, but yeah, that just isn't good for the image.
I haven't looked into it enough to know what it really entails. So I guess that's probably the most simple answer that I can give. Training for a fight takes a lot of my time, and when I'm not training for a fight, I'm trying to build content for my social media and my brand. And when I'm not doing that, I want to be mom and I want to spend time with my daughter and I want to give her true, honest, genuine attention. And so those are where my priorities are. I haven't looked into it. I don't know necessarily what it is. I've heard that it's taken a turn from being something that is, sexualized to something that, you can make a profit off of, and it doesn't have to be sexualized. So like I said, it's not something that I just haven't looked into it.
But I mean, I guess the main part I have for you is how tough is it when there's a lot you've probably passed up on in the past. I mean, you're an attractive woman. I'm guessing, that there are probably people going, hey, post for Playboy, post for Maxim FF, post for this. And it'd be probably big money, kind of money that most people go, okay, yep, we're just gonna, let's drop it all out and baby, it's a birthday suit time. Let's take photos. And you've always maintained this image of, clean, wholesome family, image. how tough has it been all these years sometimes when you look and go, ooh, that's a lot of money. No, I can't do that. It's not gonna look good. Or, oh, I don't want my daughter to see me do this because that's not a good image.
Money
And
is
yet at
only
the same time,
from
there's people going, hey, love to have you pose your penthouse Playboy. Here's a check, just fill in the blank zeros, and well, we're ready to shoot.
yeah, but money can only do so much for your happiness. So there's a fine line with that, and I have a really tight relationship with my husband and my daughter, and there have been things that I've done, like the ESPN body shoot, and I decided to do that because I thought that the way that they went about displaying the athlete's body was just that, showing the beauty of an athlete. And so I really enjoyed doing that. It was something that I had to sit down with my husband and talk to about, because at the end of the day, I do think that there were things that should be kept intimate and only for my husband to see.
How do you make it work? I mean, as you say here, as we talk right now, you are still married to your husband. You've been in a long, happy relationship. Granted, there's probably been bumps in the road. That's like every marriage. There's always bumps in the road. How do you guys make it happen though when you are still busy? It's not like most fighters who at this point we're going, okay, now we're gonna retire, or yeah, we're gonna settle down. Now we're gonna do this. You're fighting. In between, you do UFC broadcasting duties, in studio. In between that, you're modeling for clothes. In between that, you're shooting Netflix movies. Um, how do you make it work when there's probably days, he just wants to go, honey, let's take a long vacation. Like, oh, I can't, I gotta meet this movie producer that pitching a script, or oh, I can't, I gotta fight this weekend, or oh, I can't, I'm doing broadcasting duties for John Jones versus Stipe Miocic, hint, hint, nudge, nudge. How do you guys make it work when both you guys are busy and you seems aren't slowing down one bit?
I think a big part of it is that Josh was a fighter, so he understands the dedication that it takes, and also all the stuff that you have to do outside of the physical training. So that's a huge help. And I just think that keeping a line of open communication and making sure that Josh's and Araya are just as much a part of the journey as I am, because it takes a team to get to the top, and I couldn't have done it without them. And they buckle down and get into camp with me, and honestly, that's the only way we can do it. And it's a give and a take. It sucks because there are a lot of, I don't know how many birthdays of Araya's we had to reschedule because it was during my fight, and weddings that we missed, family functions that we miss. There's just a lot of things that you miss because you have to you go into tunnel vision. And but they see the they see that we're trying to reach for greatness, and we all do it together. And in being able to do that, we've got to go to some really, really cool places because of the UFC, because I am a, and I guess you would call it an influencer, a professional athlete. We've got to go to China and Singapore and Mexico and Canada for different events and seminars because of my fighting. So like I said, it is a give and a take, and I can move my schedule around in order to go to my daughter's plays and gymnastics meets and stuff, because I have power over my time. But at the same time, it takes up all my time. So I think we ride the wave.
Speaking of the wave, let's talk about Havoc here. It's gonna, as we said, it's gonna be dropping on later on this year, 2022, and there's gonna be a red carpet, and you're gonna be walking down the aisle. I mean, I know that you keep all this professionalism about you, but how much of this is gonna be like a little kid at Christmas when you had that red carpet, you're all dolled up, there's photos taken of you. It's like, hey, I'm in this movie. I'm not a stunt double. I'm not doing the stunts. I'm in the movie here. My name is on the billboard. This is awesome.
It
This is
is,
freaking awesome here, people.
yeah. For sure, it is absolutely surreal. I absolutely geeked out, when the director wanted to talk to me and showed me the fight choreography. I could not believe that he had me in mind for this role, and I geeked out, and I was so down for the experience. And it was an amazing experience out in the UK, getting to know Tom Hardy and Gareth Evans, who was the director, and everybody that was involved in it. Is just Everybody was just so beautiful, and I made such great friends, and they all embraced me, and yeah, so it was good.
It's funny. Every time I talked with actors who do martial arts or train like that, whether it's the last ship's Brent Foster, whether it's Adam Malari of the Adam Project, they all say whenever they're doing these fight scenes with women, they always get injured because the women get more into it. It's like, oh yes, we're throwing full on, they're throwing a little bit extra oomph on their shots here. Did that happen? Did all of a sudden you're doing a fight scene with Tom Hardy or Justin Cornwell or Timothy Olyphant, all of a sudden it's, oh sorry Tom, didn't mean to hit you nose, or sorry Timothy, didn't mean to hit you with a schnoz. And it's like, oh crap, I just heard Tom Hardy. This isn't good. But it's why you go, that's not good, breaking the nose of a star actor.
That's funny. It is quite funny because they're, even though they're both martial arts, they're complete opposites in the approach, because fighting for movies, you have to expose yourself. You have to show what you're getting ready to do. You have to exaggerate. You have to pull your punches. And in fighting, it's the exact opposite. You don't want your opponent to see what's going on. You keep your hands up. You keep your face tucked so the camera can't see you. Your opponent can't see you. But I think just because I've in between my fights, I've had the opportunity to do stunt work. I really embrace the idea of fighting and learning fight choreography and learning how to pull your punches and make them look like they hit and stuff. So I would say I'm pretty proud of myself as far as that goes. Now, with that being said, sometimes you just can't fake a move, and you just got to do it. So you either commit to it fully 100% and hope that you get the shot the first time, or you're going to have to do it again. So you'll just have to watch the movie and check out those sometime events.
So last question before I let you go. We got to ask about the Dream Project, because you've been talking about this, you and I, since like 3 or 4 years ago. Mulan. I mean, because now you've gotten into the movies, and now Gareth Evans is called. Yeah, she can act. She's attractive. She can memorize scripts. How much are you looking at, and how much does this help now going to, in terms of for you, like going to the directors, going, hey, this Mulan project, I'd love to be a star of it. Hint, hint, nudge, nudge, I'll be part of it, because now you have people who can vet you, can go, hey, look, she can actually act. She actually knows what she can do. She can actually talk, memorize scripts, fight, and chew gum all at the same time, and look good doing it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm really looking forward to what the future holds for me. And when this movie comes out, it's going to be such an amazing movie. And yeah, there will be more opportunities that come through. We were just watching. It's really funny because Raya the Last Dragon, my daughter, she's like, they kind of spell it like Araya, but they're saying it wrong. They're calling it Raya. And my daughter could absolutely be like, play that role like to a T. She looks just like the girl. So yes, there's tons of room for opportunity, and I just have to make myself available, and I definitely am 100% available.
Once again, ladies and gentlemen, we are proud to have on the show. She'll be fighting July 16th only in Long Island. I give you once again the Karate Hottie herself. I give you Michelle Waterson. Now, Michelle, before I let you go, so once again, where can fans check you out at? Where is the Twitter page, Instagram, the website, and where can who are the sponsors that have been helping you out for this fight and even beyond?
My main sponsors are Onyx, which I absolutely live by their supplements. I take the Alpha Brain every single day, and Body Armor. They keep me hydrated. Those two keep me running through fight camp. So those are the two that absolutely have had my back since day one. Also, my friend Noemi has a local business out here in New Mexico, and she helps me with my nutrition for most of my fights. And her local business is called Eat Fit ABQ, and I mean, you know, my nutrition is spot on. I feel amazing. My muscles coming in good. I'm starting to get my six pack back, so we're on the right track. And then if you want to find me, it's Karate Hottie MMA, across the board. And we just launched our apparel line, and you just go to michellewaterson.com and you'll be able to find some cool stuff there.
Michelle Waterson, ladies and gentlemen, once again, always on a pleasure having the Karate Hottie on the show. We come back. We got a lot more coming up. Stay tuned for more great guests and everything here only on It Is Last Call. Last Call with the Alcohol only on the Last Call YouTube channel.